Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about the most unlucky nurse in the entire world. Her name is Violet Jessop and this bitch has been through it. Let me tell you about it. So Violet was born in 1887 in Argentina and her parents were Irish immigrants. She was the oldest of 9 children, though only 6 survived, and she spent a lot of time caring for her younger siblings. Perhaps that's why she ended up becoming a nurse. They speculated that she may have had TB as a child, so that's like her first thing. She survived TB in a time where there was hardly any treatment for it. So that's one unlucky thing, but I guess it's lucky that she survived. But she did make it through that, and her family eventually did move to England after her father died. It said that it was a surgical complication. I'm not really sure what happened there, but you know, healthcare at that time probably wasn't that great, so. When they moved to England, she went to convent school, and her mom worked as a stewardess on many ships in the area, but then her mom became ill as well, so she left school and worked as a stewardess on the ships as well. She wasn't quite a nurse yet, but she did become a nurse later in her life. So Violet chose to dress down in order to get hired because she was considered to be too attractive, and by dressing down, she was more likely to be hired as a stewardess. If that's not some bullshit-ass misogyny, I don't know what is. So at age 21 in 1908, she started working on the Orinoco ship. She worked there for a few years, and in 1911, she started working on the Olympic. So this is her first mistake. She starts working on the Olympic. It's a very large luxury ship, the largest one of its time. Literally, as it's leaving the dock, the ship collides with a British warship known as the Hawk, and it didn't sink, but it managed to make it back to shore even though it was severely damaged. This should have been your first clue, girl. Ships are not for you. So it gets better. In her memoirs that she wrote later in life, she didn't even mention this little incident. Like, that's how many times that she's been in shipwrecks. She didn't even mention this first one because the ship didn't sink. So she also got on the Titanic in 1912, the very next year. She did not learn her lesson. So obviously when the Titanic hit the iceberg and started to sink, she was ordered to help direct people to the lifeboats, especially the ones who didn't speak English. So she spent a lot of time on the boat while it was sinking, directing people to the lifeboats. She eventually gets on a lifeboat and somebody tosses them her baby. Didn't say anything, just like, here's a baby. And so she took this baby onto the lifeboat. Eventually they were rescued by the Carpathia, and somebody runs up to her, snatches that baby, and runs away. You're really not gonna say anything when someone just snatched the baby you were holding? Like, you didn't even know if that was the mother. She was like, oh, probably the mother. Snatched it, ran away. Okay. So she survived a collision with another boat. She survived an iceberg collision. Number 2. She still didn't learn her lesson. In 1916, during World War II, she started working for the Red Cross and was on a ship that was converted into a hospital ship. So this is the point where she becomes a nurse. I don't know if she actually got any training or they were like, you, come be a nurse. And she was like, all right, why not? I've already almost died twice. Why not get on a ship again? She was on the Britannic that was converted into a hospital ship to treat soldiers during World War I. There was an unexpected explosion on this boat and it sank, and no one is really sure what happened, like why it sank.
I mean, I feel like it was probably her fault, but what do I know?
So she gets on a lifeboat, but one of the propellers from the boat strikes their lifeboat and she ends up jumping off. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, I don't know. But she ends up getting hit in the head with one of the propellers. Severe head trauma, but she did survive, even though it was probably all nasty water and all that shit all up in it. She survived that head injury and worked for this line until 1920. You gonna stay with this place after they blew your ass up? Really? She continued working for various ship lines as a stewardess and as a nurse, and many years after her retirement, she gets a mysterious phone call. The caller says,
were you the one that saved the baby off the Titanic?
and she's like,
I was.
and the caller laughs and says,
that was me.
and hung up. Why does no one have full conversations? Why does no one say anything except for like, and that's it. Like, baby gets tossed, no words. Baby gets snatched, no words. You finally find out what baby it is, and they're like, that was me. And then they hang up. Really? That's it? That's all you're gonna say? Not even a thank you? I don't know, these people be crazy. That child was named Assad Thomas, and he did, in fact, belong to that woman who snatched him. So I guess it wasn't a real snatching. It was like a reverse snatching. I don't know. So she was known fondly as Miss Unsinkable because she keeps getting on boats and they keep sinking and she keeps not dying. But she did end up dying of congestive heart failure in 1971 at age 83. And if that's not the most ironic way to die, I don't know what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just found this topic really interesting, and how does one keep getting on boats when they keep sinking? Like, the first time, okay, freak accident, whatever. After you survive the Titanic, I'm not getting on another boat in my life. Never. So that's her story. Comment down below if you have any comments or if you've heard of her before. There will be some stuff floating around here. If you enjoyed today's video, you may enjoy these, and I will see you next time. Bye.